Looking out at you, there is no doubt in my mind. We are bold, brave, and we are determined, right? You know, being here today, having the pleasure of addressing this inspiring AFSCME crowd, I can't help but think of my very first international convention. It was 2006, and it was right here in McCormick Place. Looking out across this room today, there are many new faces here, and that really, truly energizes me. Perhaps this is your first convention. Perhaps you're new to AFSCME, or perhaps you've been here all along, working diligently to support our mutual efforts. To all of you, you each have my sincere gratitude and all of my respect. And I look forward to meeting as many of you as I can over the next few days and sharing our thoughts about our common goals. This is a large gathering by any measure, something many of you fighters out there are used to seeing. In this congregation, there are hundreds of longtime AFSCME heroes who fight our battles and stand up for our values each and every day. Also, there are many new Next Wave champions. Where are you at, Next Wave? All right. They're taking on our cause, and they're empowering us with their passion and with their energy. That we are all here together, a joining of like-minded, proactive, and outspoken AFSCME sisters and brothers proves to me that our voice is being heard, but we must be louder still. Your attendance here today demonstrates your commitment to a greater good, achieving equality and justice in the workplace. Sisters and brothers, in spite of recent attacks, we're still standing strong, right? We will remain united because we are the mighty green machine. Woo! And we will continue to fight, and we will succeed, just as we always have done over the years. And with a president as strong, as determined as Lee Saunders, let me hear it for Lee Saunders. Woo! With Lee at the wheel, we are going to continue to carve out a better tomorrow for our members. Without any doubt, the results that we have created together, they have elevated the quality of life for more than 1.6 million AFSCME families. Yes, we have endured some bumps and bruises along the way, and there will be many more to endure tomorrow. But we still stand in a better place right now. And in solidarity, we will be better, and we will be in a better place in times to come. Sisters and brothers, there is no limit to our impact. The countless families of public service workers are not the only beneficiaries of our work. Our efforts have paved the way for an immeasurable number of non-AFSCME members and even non-union American working class families, so they too can find a better way of life and ultimately move this nation's economy towards one that thrives. Right? One where there's equal opportunity, equality in the workplace, and where a living wage becomes the new norm. Everyone here today has proven their commitment to ensuring America's workforce receives the benefits and the opportunities that it rightly deserves. Everyone here is vital to our effort because each of you is a rock star, and I am proud, so proud, to be associated with you. So, sisters and brothers, if you're ever wondering what value that you bring, don't. Think about the scale, the sheer enormity of this union, and how it takes each and every one doing their part to be effective. Know that you are not alone. Know that what you give has a huge impact on today and on our future. Sisters and brothers, what we will accomplish this week, it will not fade over time. It will not be temporary or fleeting or shallow. We are here today united in a mission to serve all Americans by creating and forcing, if necessary, a road to stability and self-sufficiency for our families and for generations to come. When I began my journey, someone was there to help me and to show me the way. What they did was simply open a door. In other words, they introduced me to AFSCME. And sisters, sisters and brothers, it was I that chose to walk through that door, just like each and every one of you has done in your past. We have all made that same choice. And when I did, my life began to change. At the time, I had no idea just how much it would change. What that door led me to was the realization that we all deserve better and that our families should not have to sacrifice anymore. Brothers and sisters, we all must reach out and open that door for others. We must help them and guide them through. We must lead others so they too can lead and they can benefit from employment possibilities unhindered by those who oppose our policies, unlimited by those who oppose our goals of equality, and unrestricted by those who stand in the way for decency for all American workers. As we help them, they in turn empower us. And together, we achieve justice for every working American family across this great nation. Our goals are rooted in decency, and they stand for all Americans in this country, not just the few. When I found my UDW brothers and sisters, woohoo! When I found UDW, I was literally saved. I was at the end of my road. I had no means to support my family or my ailing son. I was alone, and I had no ability to change my situation. My induction was like walking into the light from a very, very dark place. But it was from that moment on to this very day that I have worked hard to pay forward the help that I once received and to convey a message that all of us here know and firmly believe in. Unions make a difference. I went from a non-member to a member to an activist, to the ever valuable VMO, let me hear you VMOs, to an organizer, to a leader. Every step I took allowed me to do more. And now that I'm here in front of you today, let me tell you, I am forever in the debt to our union and to each and every one of you sitting here, sisters and brothers. There are families out there, we all know this. There are families out there today that are suffering, just as I once was. These families, they're not few in number. They are many. They are thousands upon thousands of struggling working class families. They're people no different from you and me. It's an atrocity that we cannot ignore. This is why we must continue to grow our numbers, continue to fight like hell for the working class and for justice for all. Standing with all of you here today, sisters and brothers, I feel the power. Do you feel it? Because it's an energy that emanates this room, filled with passionate, strong, and determined people. People who stand together in solidarity, unified in a cause and a mission. And it is a privilege to be a part of it. Through AFSCME, we each have an amazing opportunity to make a difference in our own lives and in the lives of so many others. And it's really not hard to do. With a goal like ours, as vital and righteous as any mission can be, making a difference is really as easy as opening a door. And speaking of making a difference, we are going to show our strength in full force when we march with the cab drivers in this city who want to fight for our union. Because once again, we will band together in solidarity and we will make a difference. Sometimes, the difference we make comes down to life and death itself. AFSCME members include some extraordinary folks, true heroes like our OCSEA brothers that I met in Ohio, snowplow drivers who rescued a motorist trapped in floodwaters and saved his life. Let me hear it for those brothers. Or the two snowplow operators who helped teenagers escape to safety when their house was engulfed by fire. Let me hear it for those brothers. Heroism is not only a life-saving act, but also the very actions that each of you perform every day in your roles as public service workers. Activities like caring for the elderly and disabled, making sure children get care or to and from school safely, or keeping our streets and parks clean, and certainly keeping us safe from crime. There are so many things that sisters and brothers from AFSCME do on a daily basis to make America happen, right? The value you bring is apparent, and those you serve and assist and fight for, they know it. Every single one of you is essential to that success that has become AFSCME, your union. Unfortunately, though, not everyone feels this way about AFSCME and its members. There are forces working against us, and we need to be vigilant. Scott Walker, for example. He doesn't appreciate what you do in Wisconsin. Rick Scott, he doesn't value your jobs in Florida. Susana Martinez, she doesn't care about you in New Mexico. Tom Corbett, he doesn't respect you in Pennsylvania. John Kasich, he doesn't acknowledge the value of service that you give in Ohio. They, with their colleagues, are the ones who cut the budgets so deeply that we're wondering how we can maintain a level of service from 5 years ago, let alone respond to the urgent needs of today. They're the ones who undermine what you do. They don't know anything about what it takes to do your job. They only know how to serve themselves and how to scheme against you and outsource your work to private companies that their buddies and that their supporters own. These critics talk about us like we're just some line item budget and nothing more. Not real people whose jobs matter, not real people with families to care for and bills to pay. And they certainly don't respect our rights. Unfortunately, just last month, our opponents gained a little leverage from a U.S. Supreme Court ruling proving just how real of a threat that they are. The decision in Harris versus Quinn was good news to those who don't believe that home care workers and child care providers deserve to have a voice. Well, there's some good news there for us as well. Those who opposed us, they're hoping to strip away entirely our collective bargaining rights. They not only want to strip them away here in Illinois, but they want to set into motion a chain reaction that would ultimately affect all public service workers in every state. Well, sisters and brothers, they failed to do that. And we rose to that challenge by organizing more than 92,000 members. 92,000 members! Well beyond the 50,000 stronger that we set back in January. And let me say this, as a former independent provider, we serve a vital role and we are indispensable. And our entire union is standing up, and together we are saying, we are AFSCME. We are AFSCME. We are proud, and we will never stop organizing, and we will not be moved. Those who stand against us think we haven't sacrificed or suffered enough, that we haven't felt enough pain from cut after cut after cut. They want to silence our voices. They want to steal our power. They're staring down at each person at this convention, and what they're saying is, we're going to reduce your wages. We're going to take away your pension. We're going to limit your benefits, and we're going to take your jobs, and we don't think you can do a damn thing about it. They've got a lot of money, and they're not giving up. But guess what? We're not giving up either, are we? Who are we? Who are we? That's why we've created the next wave, so we can cultivate new young members into activists and into leaders, not only for today, but for tomorrow. And that's why we have the Women's Leadership Academy. Where are you, Women's Leadership Academy? Because women represent nearly 60% of our members. Way to go, sisters! Let me hear you roar! This is why we must work so hard at signing up new members every day. It's why we must continue to work hard and to grow our family. And of course, AFSCME retirees, where are you? They're the role models for us, and we are not giving up. They show us every day what it means to fight and what it means to believe in our union. Our entire union is stronger and more effective when retirees are mobilized as VMOs and as public activists. And through people, our political action program, our collective voice becomes even louder. People is our solution to getting out the vote and electing the right politicians. Politicians like Mary Burke in Wisconsin, and Charlie Crist in Florida. And we're going to hear from both of them later today. Just as important, people is also how we get rid of the politicians who lead the assault on working families. They may think that they are bold, but we're bolder. And they may think that they're brave, but we're braver. And they may be determined, but AFSCME's more determined. Sisters and brothers, I want to leave you with one last thought. 50 years ago, a woman named Fannie Lou Hamer, she made a huge difference. She was an organizer during Freedom Summer, the campaign that drew 700 college students to Mississippi to register African Americans to vote. Mrs. Hamer was a sharecropper, poor and uneducated. She was threatened, jailed, beaten, and forced from her home. All because, as she put it, she wanted the right to vote and to become a first-class citizen. Fannie Lou Hamer's courage demanded America's attention, and it shook up the Democratic Party's convention in 1964. And it wasn't long after that, Freedom Summer and the Democratic Convention, that the Voting Rights Act was signed. My point is, one woman with an incredibly powerful voice. With AFSCME, we each have powerful voices, voices that we use not only to fight for our rights, but to speak out for all working families. So I want you just to take a moment, and imagine what we're capable of doing together, brothers and sisters, with a collective voice. Because we are a family. We are a team. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Thank you. Let's have